Okay, well, let's heading into our next topic of the conversation, and that is GSP, Khabib, and the UFC. Okay, so you guys, this is like I previously mentioned, it's all about selfish reason, and those selfish reason are mine only. Okay, so we know that Dana White he would like to see Khabib compete again within the UFC. But Khabib, he essentially saying no right now. There's no one in the lightweight division would make him excited, would excite him. And he is, as right now, he has been announcing that he's retired. And Dana White would like him to come back and fight Conor McGregor. In my mind, in my opinion, the only fight, and I mean the only fight that Khabib should come back and fight is Georges St.Pierre. That is it. But however, I do not want to see these guys compete at the UFC lightweight division because I believe that that division must move on. And also, Georges St.Pierre, he's getting older. I believe he is 37 right now. This is what I want, okay, guys? So this is what I want. I want Dana and the UFC to offer this fight at 165 pounds. And I don't want that to be a catch weight. I want that to be a new division. I would like the UFC to create a new division, and the two men that I would like to see the UFC kick off this division to become their first champ is Georges St.Pierre and Khabib Nurmagomedov. Okay? And I realized that if you guys are listening to this, you guys are saying that this is what's going to happen. If one of these guys come in and they win, well, one of them's got to win. For not necessary, it could be a draw. A draw would be the best scenario for the UFC because they can make more money from a rematch. And if these guys fight because they love to compete against each other and they come up with a draw, it's 100%, and I mean 100%, that they would fight again to see who is better at the same weight class, which is 165. So, and if that's the case, Dana and the UFC will have their cake and eat it too. They will make money, and Dana and the UFC will have Khabib and Georges St. Pierre to compete not once but twice. So a draw is the best possible scenario. Do I see that happening? It's very unlikely. Maybe like 1 in 1,000 or 2,000, but there's always a chance because both these guys are wrestlers, and their wrestler could cancel each other out, and the judge be like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And it might come out as a majority draw. So I can see that outcome happening. Okay, so let's get back to the topic of the conversation, and that is GSP, Khabib, and the UFC. Georges St. Pierre, he has stated on multiple occasions that he is not necessarily fighting for the money. He's fighting about building a legacy and cementing himself as one of the greatest fighter to ever compete, not just in the UFC but in the history of mixed martial arts, regardless of the promotion of the organization, regardless of the generation, because he has been doing this before his last retirement for, I believe, 2 generations, and now heading into 3rd generation. And that, when it comes to generation gap, I believe that every decade is, in my mind, is 1 generation, and he's been doing this going on almost 3. I believe that George, he put in his first fighting glove when he was when he was late teens, like 18, 19, in a regional promotion. And then when he transitioned into the UFC, he went on such a tear, and he lost twice, and that was to Matt Serra and Matt Hugh, and he eventually both lost. and of course the last one to Matt Serra. That was, who saw that coming? And kudos to Matt Serra. He was a plus 400 in that fight, if not more. And that was one of the biggest upset that not just in Matt Serra's career, which he came in and won, but within the UFC history. As of right now, this is February 2021. Matt Serra is still riding that hype, which is over a decade later, as claiming to be one of the person to beat the great Georges St.Pierre. Okay, so I can see Georges St.Pierre coming back and going to a fight for the UFC third title, become the UFC first ever in the history to become a triple champ. And on the flip side, there's two, and that is Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib has mentioned that he would like to come back. Previously, when his dad was still alive, that he would still like to come back and compete in UFC to make his dad happy, because to him, Georges St.Pierre is essentially his dream fight, his dream matchup, and Georges St.Pierre right now is a unicorn to Khabib Nurmagomedov, and a 30-0 is a nice round number compared to 29. And also that just recently, Khabib Nurmagomedov, he has purchased one of the fight promotion from Russia, and he renamed it to Eagle Fighting Championship. And also, he has been having a lot of sit down, having a lot of conversation, because according to Russian Today, that Khabib Nurmagomedov and Dana White, they have been having discussion, not just the fact that Khabib's future in the UFC, if they now would like to see him fight and compete again, also that Khabib Nurmagomedov is trying to get his fight promotion Eagle Fighting Championship on Fight Pass. It's a way of him promoting his fight promotion, his fight league in North America, and he does have a bit of contract on the other side of the world in Russia. I am exhausted, but as right now, it's the UFC is still a place to be. It's still a place where a lot of people are being recognized, and also it's also still a place where with the casual fight fan and also the celebrity, it's what we tune into. And I mean me, myself, and you as well watching this. It is essentially what everyone tune into, and that is still the place to be, regardless in what level. And when it's a level, I mean on Fight Pass, streaming, or cable network, or even their pay-per-view. If you could attach your name to UFC, you are that one step closer. You are being recognized, and doors will be open. The potential is there. Yeah, and I believe that is one of the conversation that Dana and Khabib is having a discussion about. And I also believe that if Dana toss in a stipulation that, hey, Khabib, come in and you fight George, and this is what I am offering you, a platform, and also if the price is right, and I believe that he will give Khabib and Georges St.Pierre a nice figure, and potentially a share of the pay-per-view revenue. And also, it will give Khabib a second opportunity to become a UFC second champ, a UFC a double champ, and also George become the UFC first ever triple champ. And I could see that being very enticing for both fighters, because, well, Dana White has mentioned previously that Georges St.Pierre, he's good. He's not financially distraught. He's not financially struggling. And Dana White has previously mentioned that Georges St.Pierre has got a bit of fuck you money. I wish I got that. I don't, but I wish I do. And also for Khabib, with all the Khabib with all his work that he's been doing, with all the sponsorship and the fight promotion, and also his Eagle Fighting Championship, he does not need to fight. And also just recently, Khabib and Jacob and Company, they came out with this watch which is valued at ridiculous amount. Like I believe it's like $250,000. It's the Eagle watch. It's the Eagle brand, and I believe that he's getting a bit of a cut. From sales, and Jacob and Co has also given him a decent amount. How much I don't know, but regardless of how much it is, I mean Jacob and Co. They are a $1 billion company. They are selling high-end products, high-end item, high-end accessory. I see him tossing like 1 or 2 million his way. Yeah. But let's get back to GSP, Khabib, and the UFC. I would like them to make a 165 pounds division, have these two guys compete to become their UFC first one for George, to become their first triple champ, to open up a division, to for Khabib to fight St. Pierre at what he has always wanted, and 3 is the possibility of an initial incentive for Khabib to become a two-weight division, and also to satisfy his dad, to make his dad happy before his dad passed away. And after that, I want the UFC to move 170 welterweight to 175, and so that there will be a 10 pounds weight gap from 145 to 155, 155 to 165, and 165 to 175, 175 to 185. And hopefully 4 or 5 years down the road, I would like to see a 195 pounds I would like to see a 195 pounds weight division, because as for now the jump from 185 to 185 middleweight to 205 pounds light heavyweight, that is a 25 pounds gap. I think that is too much as well. I don't believe that the 15 pounds from 155 to 170, that is as much as it is. So that is what I would like to see. Dana, make it happen. Just give these guys whatever they want. And if you guys have been watching a bit of the slideshow I've been showing, you guys might have noticed that one of them has got Conor McGregor, and the reason behind that is that, well, there he is, Conor McGregor, and the reason behind that is that I know that this is a big if, is that I would like Conor McGregor to become their backup fighter. I realize that it's a big stretch because Conor McGregor will not be a backup fighter for anybody. But I can see Conor McGregor would bite his tongue and say yes to this. It's just the opportunity for him to for him to compete for his 3rd title. And also money talks. And Conor McGregor, just like the rest of us, he likes money. He likes to be on the Forbes top 50, and this might propel him to the Forbes top 20, if not top 10, when it comes to money of the athlete, of how much athlete makes per year, per that year. I could always see that. I get 100% seeing that if Conor McGregor could compete 3 times a year, he could make the top 10 when it comes to grossing, and that's what he wants. That's what Conor McGregor wants, is to make that list. At the end of the day, he is a prize fighter. All these guys are a prize fighter. Yeah. So tell me what you think. I would love to hear from you.